Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to this Ministry Media Masterclass scheduled for 12 o'clock every Wednesday. Just want to put a banner up there. This class will start promptly at 12 o'clock. In the meantime, I want to see, are you excited? Are you engaged? Are you here? Let me know in the comments what your expectations are of this masterclass today. I'm looking forward to hearing from you. In the meantime, while I'm waiting for your feedback, I am going to just share our streams in the Telegram group, Telegram channel. If you don't have access to that, we'll post a link to that at the end of the class, and you can go and get engaged by that. But in the meantime, let me know what your expectation of today's class, and also would appreciate it if you would be able to share this broadcast with someone. So go ahead and share this broadcast with someone right now so they can take part of the class starting in about a minute or two. And then also I would appreciate if you could perhaps go and tag someone in the comments, and that will obviously notify them that the class is going to start in a few minutes. Thank you very much for being here. I really appreciate you, and we're going to get going in a few seconds. Just as an introduction, you are getting this broadcast live from My Growth Academy. That's where our offices are, and that's where we teach, where our vision is kingdom standards in educational excellence. We're very proud of our brand and what we're achieving here. And it's all about empowering the body of Christ. So looking forward to that. Also, this is a ministry media broadcast. And before we get started, I want to quickly share this powerful thing with you. It is a scripture that we're standing on before starting. And it says the following: revealing yourselves that you are a letter of Christ, delivered by us, written not in ink, but with the Spirit of the living God, not on tablets of stone, but on tablets of human hands. And as we get ready for the class to start, we are gearing up and getting ready. We're going to start in a few seconds, and we're very excited to share today's class with you. And as we count down, we're getting ready, and we're going to get going. And there it is. Countdown happens. Good afternoon and welcome to this broadcast. This is a live masterclass for Ministry Media Mastery, where our goal is getting your message out to the world. And this morning, this afternoon, we're talking about maximizing your ministry's message. And we're very passionate about that. And what we're going to talk about today is, number one, you need to be it's important for you as a ministry that has a message inside of them to get that message out to the world and to be effective. In other words, maximizing your message. You have to be up to date with the latest trends, what is working, and how can I get as many people to hear the message that I've got on as many platforms. So we're going to share with you 4 amazing strategies today. I want to show you and help you explore and leverage the principle of content stacking. How does that work? What is the purpose of it, and how do I achieve it as a way to maximize my message? 2, how do I use YouTube Shorts, and what are other ministries doing with it, and how is it doing that for me? The 3rd strategy is quote cards, and I'm going to show you how powerful that is and how does that work. And then lastly, interviewing people on a live stream. And those are the 4 media strategies that we're going to look to today. So let's talk about content stacking. How does that work? Content stacking, you can look at it in 2 ways. The first one is It's repurposing and repackaging existing content across various platforms. The benefits of doing content stacking is that you reach different audiences. And I'm going to give you an example. For instance, I'm going to give you an example online right in a few minutes, where you can take a video that you've done and cut portions of it out. Let's go through the 4 pillars that we regularly teach and how important that is. And how does that work in building a successful media platform? The first one is content. So as a ministry, how do I get my message to the world is by creating content. And last week, we shared with you, how do I create content? How can I get the best content out of me through reflection and introspection? So if you want to go and check that out, go and check last week's broadcast. The second pillar is consistency. So you got to do that consistently, and that's going to build credibility for you, and eventually you'll have influence. The third one is community. And so as you put your message out, what happens is you attract people to your ministry. People start listening, and by attracting you, by being attracted to you, now you have an audience or a community that you can serve. And also, we'll speak about that later on. But now your function is to find out what do they need and serve them with what you can give them. And the fourth one is collaboration. We're going to give you some examples of collaboration today, which ties in with one of the strategies that we speaking of today. All right. And so having spoken about content, what I like to do is I like to plan my content out through this strategy or this method of reflection and introspection. And when I've planned out my content, I like spending a day just on creating the content. And I'm speaking about long form content. I'll give you an example in a minute. When I've got the long form content, and this could be anything from let's say 8 to 12 minutes to it could be an hour, right? But what happens when you create this content, you've got a mass or content mass that you can go and extract different content from, and then you get the shorter form of content, which forms part of a lot of the strategies we're going to share with you today. All right, and as you go and you prepare those content, now through content stacking, what you do is you repurpose your content. And I'm going to give you some examples. I'll show you some in a second. The first is taking a video and converting it to text. So transcribing it, and now it's a blog post. I'm going to show you an example in a second. The second thing that you do is you now go and you take your video and you convert it to audio, and now it's a podcast. If you want to go brand it, just do a little bit of extra work and put an intro and an outro on it, and then it's repurposed and made for a specific platform. What these things do is you reach more audiences. In all the examples that we're going to share today, you have that opportunity to do so. So you have people that's going to love your ministry and they're going to watch all your long form content. And then there's going to be some people that are not exposed to your ministry yet. And so they want small excerpts. And so some of the small excerpts are shorts and quotes we're going to share in a moment. So those are also ways that you can repurpose your content. I just want to check my levels here and make sure that I am cool. Great. Now with your content, when you have a large body of content and you start stacking and repurposing it, you can reach more platforms, you can reach more peoples and more demographics. Because people that watch short videos are different than watch long form videos. And then you can also work on promoting that content to different audiences. If you watch on the screen right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly just exit here, and I want to show you an example. Okay, so this is a video that I've done in studio, and here I'm teaching on a strategy that WWE uses and how you can apply that to a radio station. Now, I want you to just quickly watch a segment of it, and I'm going to show you what have we done with that. Okay, so as you can see, this is now a video where I'm teaching different things. And I want to show you what I've done is I've taken out of this content, I've taken a clip and I've done this. Okay, and so what's happened here is I've taken a portion out of the video and I've created what they call a short. Okay. Quotes is also powerful to take out of videos and repurpose that. We're going to show you what quote cards does, but I do the same thing with quotes or videos. I take the quotes that I take that became quote cards and I also put them into videos like this, which are shorts, right? And so I want to show you another way of content stacking or repurposing, and that is what I've done here. As you can see, this is titled 10 Ways to Increase Your Ministry's Income, and that was during the pandemic, and this can apply anytime, really. It's kind of evergreen information. So here is the specific video that I've done. I've also done this in studio, and I share tips on how you can grow your ministry's income through okay, and what I've done is I have done exactly what I shared with you now. I have gone and I've transcribed my content and it became a blog post. Now, I've gone a little bit further and I've actually transcribed it, and I've also put in examples of all the platforms that I'm talking about, and it is literally a very, very high value teaching that I'm sharing here, and that's what I've done with that. So having done all of that, what this does is it leads us into the next portion of this teaching, and that is YouTube Shorts. And so YouTube Shorts is essentially a video that's not longer than a minute. They are like 40 seconds, maximum 60 seconds. And how do I do them? I've shown you one way. You take a long form video and you cut powerful pieces out, you put them together, and you go and put it onto YouTube, right? And you have to use the hashtag shorts for them to go into the right feed. You could repurpose this specific video. You could also go put it onto Facebook as a reel, on Instagram as a reel, and you can use it on TikTok. So now you're reaching a completely different demographic. Unfortunately, their attention span is very, very low, and so they watch these short videos. Other things that you can do is you can actually go and spend production time on creating a short. So what I've done, and I'll maybe show you an example, is I've done what works well on TikTok is I've gone and I've taken a sermon by Joel Osteen and I've lip synced it, and I posted it on one of my channels and it worked really well. The other thing that, so those are just some ideas that you can do with videos. You can either repurpose videos where there are powerful statements and you can make them short videos, or you can go and create videos. Now, some of the, here are things that we know. Number one, video shorts is a great way to build your watch time on your channel. And you need about 4,000 hours watch time for you to reach a certain level so that you can monetize your channel. Now, as ministries, I actually discourage monetizing your channel, because if you monetize your channel, you have a break. Let's say you have a worship video. The ad comes and there's a break in the worship and it's really distracting. It messes with the mood. I see some videos, some ministries do their ministry, and in between there are videos. I've actually seen one today where there's a platform called Jesus for Israel or something, and they've actually promoted in one of the videos that I've watched. It was targeted at me, and I actually gained another platform that I can watch or that I can go to where I can find good content that I want to consume. So that was a good ad placement. But on the other side, what you get is you get some ministries talking bad about other ministries and how they just want to make money, and they put ads on their own videos. So they contradict themselves, and that's really, I think it's problematic at the end of the day, if that is the voice that you're using and what you want to do. What Shorts also helps with, it helps you build your subscriber base, okay? Because people watch it, they don't have to commit too much time. It's like 40 seconds or a minute, and they subscribe because they liked it, and so on. And one trick that I haven't mastered yet, but I know that works really well, is creating a video that loops back to the beginning. And so it keeps on watching. So that increases your watch time even more, and you want to do that. So when you do any teaching on Shorts, they'll tell you that going according to trends is good. And what I've done at the start of my ministry, I've gone and I've taken news and I wrote articles around that. So a Christian opinion on the news, and it worked really well for me. But here, if you can latch onto a trend and you can bring a gospel message into that, that should work really well. But I wouldn't just go on the trend and just use it for the trend's sake. And so here are some examples that I want to share with you in terms of Shorts. So I want to give you, I've already shared with you and showed you some of the Shorts that I've done. Let me quickly look for, I want to show you this short that I've done. And so that was fun to do. And it was also, I'm happy with the results. It was my first one and I got 255 views. And so pursuing that consistently would really get good traffic for you. Here is another example. I want to show you two prominent ministry examples just quickly. And so as you can see in most of these videos, what are powerful strategies is the captions in the word. And so what is being taught is that those captions really help with the attention on the videos, so people keep watching it because they're actually reading it. So do you see that? So as you can see, what they've done, they've taken a powerful message, they've taken an excerpt, and they moved it around. I want to show you another one. This one is by Joyce Meyer. This one got them almost 300,000 views, which is a great result. Okay, the other one I want to show you is by Joyce Meyer, and this is. So as you can see, they are using captions really well. And as is the way that she always does it, she does teaching, she does listicles. So it's article kind of advice, and it's done in lists. So she's number one, number two, and that's always really worked well for her and for Joel Osteen. Okay, let's show you another one. This one is now a creative. This is a creative piece that has been created specifically to minister. It's not repurposing, it's not content stacking, it's not taking for someone else. It is originally created as a short, and it has a different impact when you're doing it for the platform. So as you can see, there's a lot of animation in there, and works really well. The next one I want to show you is this is another creative piece that has worked really well. So as you can see, this is unpacking a scripture and making it real through visual formats and visual arts. Okay, so as a format that works really well, as you can see, and that is the section on shorts. Let's talk about next quote cards. And I've spoken before about how we take videos, we take a powerful portion of that sermon or talk or video, and we extract quotes from it. We do it for secular clients and for ourselves on all the businesses that we're part of, and specifically ministry. Take a quote out, and we do two things with it. Number one, we put it on an image, which I'll show you examples of in a second, and people can then, I'll tell you what that does for you in a second, but we put it on a visual and we post it on all the visual platforms like Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, LinkedIn, etc., etc. So everywhere where you can post a picture, we post those, and it helps us grow ministries. The other thing that we do is we take that quote that we've done, we extract the video portion of that quote, and we then use it as shorts, which we've showed you examples of before. And that's really powerful way of ministering at the end of the day. So what quote cards do for you is they increase your visibility exponentially, because people love watching or looking at images. And so you give them stimulation this way, you give them what they want, and you can use it as a teaching moment. It builds your credibility. Any person that has quotes that goes online attributed to them builds their credibility over time. And then what it does is it also increases the attention, because anything visual at the end of the day is great. And so I've shared with you how we do that. And I want to give you quickly an example of a quote card. So this is something we've done with a client. This quote comes from one of his books. And what we've done is we've created a quote card. So you can see nicely the branding right here. You can see the quote, and we've put him in the platform. So you can see this builds credibility, influence, and trust over time. And as you can see, 8 comments, which we're happy about because it's a ministry platform. We don't expect an awful lot usually. I do have some examples where, I believe the more shares and the more comments you get, the more engagement. Those are elements of engagement. The more engagement you get, I feel the content has been a lot more successful. And as you can see there, you can see there's 8 comments, but it's been shared 21 times, which is, I think, a successful piece of content. The next one is actually promoted his book or his coaching program to this. And we took a quote and we said, Dwight Moody says, and I agree, a preacher that secures a coach will improve their preaching by 30%. Again, branding, there's the book or the place that it comes from, and again, his photo, which builds credibility. Look at the results. 11 shares, which goes outside and speaks to endorsement, and then 45 comments. Now, what's important about those comments is we post this up, and as you can see, we say there, we repeated the quote, and we say, we don't do this often, but if you're interested in securing coaching, let us know in the comments. And 45 people in the comments below let us know that they're interested, which helped us to fill that specific class. Here's one. Vanity is vanity happens, right? But this is one that I've created. Your media platform needs time to grow. Media visibility is a marathon, and it's not a sprint. And so that's just an example of something that we created. And the flip side of that, what you can also do is you can actually create what we call a scripture card. So it's just like a quote card, but you quote the Bible and you use that. And so this is really a simple card. I chose this one to show you the results that it got. Okay, but you can obviously do a lot more. You can put it into script. You can put something in the background that's relevant to the thing itself, and that works really well. So at the end of the day, I think this is a very, very successful post, and just showing you that. As you can see, got 97 comments and got shared 447 times, which I think is a massively successful piece of content at the end of the day. And so that wraps up our talk on quote cards. Let's do the next one, which is live interviews. This is one of my favorite pieces of content to do. I use the same platform to do my live interviews that I'm using right now, which is StreamYard. And it's a very powerful tool for me. As you can see, I could put branding elements. I can bring in my stuff. I played the intro video at the beginning. There's so many things that I can do. I can also play music in the background. Yeah. And so it's a very powerful platform that we use. But let's talk about live streaming specifically and what it does. Remember the 4 pillars that I shared with you that we build media ministries with. And the 4th one is collaboration. And so a great way for you to build a following is by collaborating with someone else, getting them onto one of your programs, which could be a live stream like this, and you interview them. We're going to show you some examples in a moment, really, really great examples. And as you interview them, what happens is you obviously promote the interview to your community. But what they do is, being on your show, they also create and promote the live stream to their audience. And now you have 2 audiences coming together, word of mouth, excitement. And it's just, I believe that collaboration can 10x all of your efforts if you use it correctly. And so different platforms that you can stream to. Right now, I'm streaming to YouTube, I'm streaming to Facebook, and I'm streaming to LinkedIn as well, because I have a very targeted captive audience on there as well that I serve. And so when you're doing live streams, it's important to test your equipment. You might not know this, but I set up for this class an hour and a half before I actually start. I run through my notes on my program beforehand, and then I go live 3 minutes before to make sure everything works, set it up, and we start promptly at 12 o'clock. But we also trust you as a community to help us to do that. So let's show you some examples of interviews. So if you look at the screen, you'll see I've done a lot of them before. Okay, and so what's nice is on YouTube, on Facebook, you can actually create a playlist. And what it does here is I've got the thumbnail there. I've got my title of my playlist. And I've got a nice description of it, got all the topics that we do, and it's a great way to promote these interviews. As you can see, Yeah, I don't know how many interviews there are, but I think it's 29 interviews that's done online. And so here is an example of an interview that I've done with the director of Small Groups movie. Skipping ahead there. And so what we've done with this is, obviously it's a great interview, but what we've done with this is we have also we've actually used this and broke it up and also serve it as a course in our platform, teaching people what the nitty-gritty is about if you want to do a short movie for your ministry and minister to people. But here is, I want to show you this specific video because it's a great example of how collaboration and live streaming of interviews, be it in this format like StreamYard or studio setup the way that I'm going to show you now. And it's really, really a powerful way to do collaborations with other people. And it's really powerful. So I'm going to show that, a portion of that for you. And as you can see, what this does is that it shows the relationship between the two, the camaraderie between them. It's a beautiful collaboration. And later in the text, in the video itself, you see really, really powerful showcasing of both of these ministries and their love. Okay, so what makes this really powerful is you can see that this is actually a promo for his book, for a book that he has just written at the time that it came out, and he's used it as a way to promote his book. So his spiritual son, which is Servant Furtick, has done an interview with him, and they unpack the concepts of the book. So first they establish rapport, they go back and forth, and they go through the whole thing. And it's one of the most beautiful ways of collaborating that I have ever seen. And it's really, really powerful. And I enjoyed watching that. So in conclusion, let's recap. What did we speak about today? First, we covered that content stacking or repurposing your content is a really powerful way of expanding your ministry's reach and maximizing your message, because you put out one piece of content, which might be a long form of content, and you start extracting from that text and audio and video shorts and quote cards, etc. And so one piece of content can become 12 if you know and if you do it correctly. The potential of this is great. So obviously repurposing helps you reach a wider audience. Just extracting from that and creating, for instance, a YouTube short, what happens is your YouTube short does a lot of things. It captures a different audience. It segues into your long form content. It builds your watch time. It builds and increases your subscriber base, which is really powerful. And then we spoke about quote cards, and I've explained that before, like taking a quote out of a video, putting it on a visual, and putting it on your visual platforms, which increases your reach, your visibility, and your credibility. You can also do the same with scriptures, which we've done for a ministry, and they've done really, really well. And then lastly, as you can see, interviews, and that ties into the collaboration strategy that I've shared before, and it's really powerful at the end of the day. Pastor Cynthia, can you hear me? But thank you so much. So those are the things that we've looked at in this specific class. And so here is a chance for you to ask us or ask me any questions you may have. It might relate to what we did here. It might be anything else, but I invite you to just post any questions, even questions if you are watching this as a replay. Post the questions, or most of you can reach me. You can find me on Facebook, you can find me on LinkedIn, find me on Telegram. There's lots of places. So just search for Ivan Viljoen. But if you have any questions live now, or you have any questions in the replay, you are very welcome to post them, and we would answer them for you live. I just want to say thank you for Pastor Cynthia. Thank you for being here today and also interacting and just letting us know what's happening. I bless you, and I'm looking forward to engaging with all of you on a deeper level as we go more and more into this masterclass journey. And I hope you found value. And so what I'd love is for you now, or even in the watching the replay, I would love for you to post below in the comments what is your takeaway from today. I'd really appreciate that. But that is our broadcast for today. Thank you very much for watching. I appreciate you being here, and I'm looking forward to engaging with you again very, very soon. And that is our broadcast for today. I love you. Thank you so much for being here today. And we'll see you again in our masterclass next week, Wednesday at 12 o'clock South African Standard Time. Thank you.